just threw it together. Took me 3 months or 4 months to put this together, or more, because I've been gathering this equipment since the beginning of Corona, right? So when we couldn't go to the radio station, I I bought some a box, some microphones, and we started doing the show from my house or my office downtown. Actually, Jim and I did it, and but then we quickly got back into the studio, and I've had this equipment. I've been trying to, when I got this, as you may know or you may not know, I moved to Bannockburn, my office, and we opened the office in Bannockburn. Part of the office has a green room, so I converted one of the offices into a green room. Have some green screens up, my camera. It's a little studio. Um, Actually, I did a pretty good job, if I don't say so myself. So today, what I'm doing is I'm testing to see if the sound is okay. I think the picture looks good. The lights are seem to be working well. The green screen seems to be working well. I'm not in the middle of the river, although it does look like I am. Anyway, that's what I like to do. So I'm going to open up. I'm going to go to if somebody. I don't know if anybody's going to watch. It doesn't really matter, um, because it's really just a test for me. But I'd like to know if anybody is watching, if I could get about the sound. Does it sound okay in my ears? It sounds good. But I don't. Sometimes when you at the studio, it sounds great, but out there, it doesn't look so good. Or sound so good. So I'm wondering if anybody could take a gander. Mention if you're listening to tell me how the sound is. I'll look to see if someone's on. I'm going to look to the other pages. I have it on a number of pages. I'm going to go to the Trust Radio Network page. We'll see if someone's watching. What my goal is to start broadcasting a show. Either we're going to start doing our shows from here, my radio show, which is the Trust Radio Network, and the Iris Radio Hour. We're going to start doing them from here in this studio, rather than in Elk Grove Village. That'll save me some travel time. I got to tell you, saving the travel time for me, going from Chicago to now living across. My office is now across the street from my house. For 20 years, I took the Metro train. Well, almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. I took the Metro train from here in Lake Forest downtown. The train ride itself was about an hour. It is about a 20-minute walk. So, you leave the house about 10 minutes early, because I'm fairly close to the train station, maybe 15 minutes early. So you're looking at about an hour and 30 minutes. At the short side would be about an hour and 30 minutes one way. So you double that coming home, 3 hours a day. So for 20 years, I'm spending 3 hours a day. And now I timed it just the other day, because I was curious about how long it would take for me to walk to my office. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, so it's amazing that I could do it in 3 minutes. The time difference. Actually, and I never dreamt that I would leave the city. In the middle of before COVID, I was my 10-year contract, my 10-year lease was coming due at 150 North Michigan. We were in negotiations to enter into a new lease. Never thought I would leave. My wife Teresa and I decided that we were going to move back to the city and get a place in the city, and that's what our plan was. But instead of moving her and I moving closer to the city, I moved the office closer to me. Kind of, again, it's odd the way these things work, but and I thought I was really going to miss it. I thought, being in the city for so long, I am a city person, love downtown, love the city, love the hustle and bustle. Never thought I would leave. With COVID happening, this everything changed downtown. I was one of the only people in the office as an essential worker. As an attorney, we're essential. So I was going to work every day. And I stopped taking the train right away, probably last March, and I started driving because nobody else was on the road. Took about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to drive, 25 to 30 minutes to drive. Parked the car. They lowered the price from $35 to $12. So that's almost cheaper than I was paying for the Metro ride every day. So I parked downtown and went to work every day. The city though was empty. Nobody was there, and we kept thinking that it's going to be a week, 2 weeks, a month, but months turned into months. Weeks turned into months, months, and it never changed down there. And it really got kind of depressing going down there and seeing nobody. I had some videos on my Facebook page here where I had videos of downtown Metro Station at the corner of Randolph and Michigan Avenue at 11 o'clock on Monday morning. I did this a couple of Monday mornings in a row, and not a soul was at the Metro Station. Nobody. Impossible, you say, but true. It's what happened. And so I started, again, the kind of negotiations broke down. I think it became a renter's market instead of a leaser's market. And I started looking around. And my son Jake had gotten an office in Lake Bluff, so he was a little bit familiar with the office space available in and around my house. He became a realtor, so he started taking me around looking at these offices, and I found some. Actually, it's kind of where I was downtown with Maurice Figlioli or Jim Maurice's office down there when I first moved down there 10 years ago, and I just fell into that because I rented his closet space, and then I moved into a regular office, even had a window, and then I moved down the hallway from him, and I never thought I don't like change very much, and so I like to keep things. You find out what you like and you want to keep it that way, and so I did. I kept it on that office. I was at 11th floor on 150 North Michigan. Again, never thought I would leave. And then when I came here, I expected that I would be, remorseful that I left downtown. But here I am about 2.5 months in. I haven't really missed it. Again, walking 3 minutes and 40 seconds because I walk every day. Oh, yeah, I walk all the way to work. And it's actually right across the street from my house. So it's really worked out well. The office space here is very nice. Just as nice as we had downtown. We had a very nice office downtown. I was very proud of it. It was on the small side, but so is this. I have about 1,500 square feet, and in downtown I think I had almost 1,200 square feet, so about the same. This extra space is where I put the studio, and I also don't have a kitchen. Downtown we had a kitchen. Up here we don't have a kitchen. But I don't need one. I'm right across the street from my house. I'm not going to eat at home. I'm not going to eat at the office, so I eat at home. And so it's been very nice to come down here. I'm testing. I don't know I don't know how the sound's coming out. I'll get off of here pretty soon, and we'll see how the sound comes around on this recording. I'm using a different camera. I always had the Mevo cameras, and that's what I use at the studios. I like the Mevo cameras, but I've had this Canon EOS Rebel T3i. So I thought that was big when I got it, but it's kind of dated now. But it still works. They've gotten some firmware updates, and so it can work as a webcam. And so that's what I'm using here. It's a Canon. Again, much better picture than the Mevo. I like the Mevo, but this is much better picture than the Mevo. And so the Mevo I have to pack and unpack because I go down to the studio to do our radio show every Friday, and I take all my equipment with me, so I have to pack it all up and bring it with me. And then on Sundays I stream our church mass, 10 o'clock mass at St. Patrick Church, and so I have to carry it all over there too. So I have to pack it all up. I got a nice case that I have all my cords and everything, because Mevo attaches to the a switch. So if you have switches, they all come together on the same network, and they all share the same network, and you can combine get the camera in that way. This Canon, I had to get a capture card, so I just got this capture card. Bought one a couple of months ago, but needed a Thunderbolt. It's funny how all of these things, they all have these different adapters and cords and such, and to put it all together, it takes a little bit of time. Again, so this is my first broadcast from this location. Again, I think it's going to work well. I wish nobody's on, so I wish somebody could tell me. If you had my phone number, I could put you on the air here, and we could talk. I think I can use my cell phone here. Let's see if I can get it on here. Let's see if I can call someone and put it on here. That'd be great. Okay, let's see. Yep, there it is. There's it. So I'm calling. I gotta call. I'm calling the first person on the line here. Hey, Jake, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm just great. I'm broadcasting from the studio for my first show from the
I
studio.
know.
What's that?
I was watching.
I didn't see anybody watching. I asked people if you're watching, how does it sound? How does it sound?
No, it's on delay, so I was just listening. I heard it like a little bit later.
I know, but when you were listening, did it sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The call doesn't sound perfect, but
it doesn't sound. I want it to sound perfect.
But I'm also on speakerphone 2 feet away.
Well, you don't sound perfect. I know that, but I figured I'd call someone to see if I can get them on the phone and get because my phone is connected, so it's pretty cool. So I got all this connected. I got all the lights working. Seems the sound is up. I'm using the Canon camera. I got a continuous battery that you plug in, so I don't have to worry about the battery anymore running out on me. So I think I have all the pieces. How's Champaign Urbana?
Great.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
No.
Sure you
Great
would. Okay. Well, I won't keep you, Jake. I just wanted to see if the phone worked. Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Have a go. Good luck.
Okay, bye. Yeah. So again, he said he was listening. I don't know where he was listening because I didn't see anybody on the feed here. So if you're on the feed and you have my cell phone, give me a call. Be happy to talk to you. See how this all works. I'm really interested on getting this out there. I'm gonna, I have a website that we broadcast to. It's called WatchTalkRadio.com. And so we're going to start a show there, Watch Talk Radio. And so you can watch Talk Radio. And we're going to put together a show every day. I kind of like the way Tim Pool does his show, where he puts up his computer screen and then discusses different stories. And there, there's so many stories going on now about how important. I think we're at a critical time in our nation. And I think it's important that we try to get everybody together. Recently, I had Dan Schultz on my radio show, and he is this Precinct Project. I think it's Precinct. I have to remember his website. But he advocates people getting involved in the precinct level, right? We want to get involved in the grassroots. Start, because that's what the Democrats did, right? They took. I wouldn't even call them. I'm not going to call them Democrats. Progressives, because Democrats are people we can have logical, fair discussions with, and we can debate, how is the best way to maintain our Constitution and to make our republic stronger. But I believe that the progressives don't want that. They're not trying to make our nation stronger. They're trying to tear us down, and I think they're, I never thought they would succeed. I always thought that they were bound for failure and into mediocrity because they didn't have very many numbers. They still don't have very many numbers. I was watching a YouTube interview, and people on the street in Minnesota are patting themselves on the back that it's the riots over the last year that made this happen, that got this verdict. And I have to say, if that's true, and I don't know if it's true, I understand that there's some of the jurors are speaking out, but I haven't really read that much about it. But if it is true that the riots and the uproar and the unrest is why Chauvin was convicted, well, I think that's a travesty. Because that's not the way it's supposed to work, right? You're not supposed to, mob rule isn't supposed to be the way it works. We're supposed to have a reasoned debate. And I keep hearing over and over again that he didn't even deserve a trial. Well, everybody deserves a trial. And so I think that's a non-starter for me about whether he should have a trial or not, or anybody should have a trial. Of course you should have a trial. Anyway, I don't want to get into that right now. But I wanted to talk, again, I just wanted to mention watchtalkradio.com. I'm going to encourage you to I'm going to probably put a newsletter together and an email list where you can go and sign up so you know when we're on. I would like to get some shows on. If you're interested in starting a podcast, I have all the equipment. I'd love to have you come in here, start your own podcast, sit here and do your own thing. And there's enough room here to interview somebody. And that's what we're hoping to do here. We're going to hope to have interviews. We have the guest function on the Studio 6, which is the software that I use. And so I can have people call in like we do on the show. When we hit COVID and we couldn't have guests in the studio any longer, we learned how to do the guest, bring them on remotely. And so, like all these shows are doing now, but we could do that too. We could bring people on remotely, and so you could do that. You can have a podcast, interview people, or if you just have something you want to talk about, and you want to do a podcast, we're available. We'd like to have you join us, start your own show, put it on watchtalkradio.com, and make it work. I think that'd be awesome. So if you're interested, contact me. What happened to let me see my logo. My logo's not up there. Oh, I have to put the logo up. There it goes. There's my logo. Because this is sponsored by Open Tax. That says resolution, but we're Open Tax advocates. So maybe I should try to put that one up. I could probably do that on the fly here. Let's see if I could do it quickly on the fly. Change the logo. Thanks. I'm glad that now I'm getting some feedback that it sounds good. That's the key, right? The key, the picture's important, but you got to be able to hear it, and that's really what I was after today, just to make sure that the sound was working well, and that the camera works fine, so I could see that myself. But I'm really encouraged by that. Thanks so much for your feedback about how it sounds. I was going to go. I didn't want to go into any politics tonight, and I'm not going to. I was talking about my office and how I'm happy that I moved the office to very close to my house. It's just incredible. The time saving. At my age, 3 hours a day, add 3 hours a day to your life, it's pretty big. So it's really made a big difference. And as I was mentioning, I thought I would really miss downtown, but I really haven't. Being so close to the office has been, one of the bad things is I work a lot more than I did. I worked a lot anyway, but the thing was I was out of the house longer. Even though I worked long hours, you add 3 hours to that, and you're looking at 12, 15-hour days. Now I'm still doing 12-hour days probably, but to knock off the 3 hours travel time is much better. So I'm really enjoying it. So, but I wanted to thank everybody. Now again, watch out for us. I'm going to be on. I'm going to try to do a regular time. I haven't decided exactly when that's going to be. And again, remember, if you want to do a podcast, contact me. I'd love to get you on the podcast. We can put you on. Got all the equipment. It's ready to go. Love to have you. So thanks so much for listening. Again, I would go on. I could go on. You know what I want to try to do? I'm going to try to do kind of what Tim Pool does, and that's a put up a story, and then we can discuss the story a little bit. Let me put my glasses on so I can see this. It's kind of, it's kind of fun in that my laptop's right here in front of me, and so I could do all this stuff. I kind of am a one man show, in that all this is kind of all by myself. it's this technology is amazing, what you can do now, and why we don't need ABC, NBC, CBS, and all of those to tell us what we need to think, right? And I think that's always what it was. They're always trying to tell us what we should do, how we should think, and we should think for ourselves. So I know that sounds. Let's see if I can do this. Not sure where that is. You could bring in websites or different. Oh, I did this. So I know I could do this here. I think I have to add an input. Add media. Local screen. Screen 1. Now I can add it here. Add screen 1. It's going to show me here. See, then I have to move it over here. So now it should be, let me see what's showing up there. Has it? Oh, let me put it up on the screen. I haven't close it here. Put that down. Put this down. Put this over. And then we can talk about different stories. My favorite website these days is the Citizen Free Press. So that's where I've been going. And let's see what stories are up there. Hunter Biden and Shamu. I don't know what that means. Rashim Kassam, Renegade Podcast. Now, Rashim Kassam, if you don't know who he is, he's on the War Room with Steve Bannon. I've been listening to Steve Bannon's show, and Rashim is on this show every day with him. He's got his own podcast, very good. Richard Dawkins, excommunicated from transgender hearsay. Dear George Bush, because we heard that George Bush is saying that all illegals should be allowed on. I'm going to probably be knocked off of Facebook now because I'm not supposed to be able to talk about this stuff, right? I know that's going to happen. So I guess I should get off because they're gonna come after me. I see I'm still here. Okay, 262. What you saying? What you saying, Therese? Let me see what's going on here. I'm gonna open this up. See what? No, I can't do that. Okay, so again, you can't get into politics on. It's funny because it's Facebook was really always about politics, wasn't it? That's where we always got together and I started talking politics and meeting old friends. It was always kind of that odd. And now you can't even talk about politics unless you want to talk about what they approve. And that's just not something that I think makes sense to talk about what we approve. I don't know why I keep hitting this. It keeps moving around on me. Okay, so I'm back to. I'm going to put myself here on the corner, but I have to get off of this page to do that. Let me do this. I'll put this up there. Let's put this, not that one, because that shows all the magic. Well, I'll put that on there. So here's my green screen. This is what I'm sitting in front of. If I take the green screen and put myself, I'll take this one here and I'll make this smaller. Put myself on the corner. Now I open that up. Uh-oh, no signal. Uh-oh. Did I lose the... No, I'm still streaming. Hold on. This happens sometimes with this camera. It's not really made for